Hearing on behalf of the people, being for safety.
And good morning, I'm William Mays on behalf of Ms. Johnson. Ms. Johnson, state your name for the record, please.
Lola Jean Johnson.
Thank you. Are we ready?
Yes.
Yes, Judge, the people are ready. I do want to just ask the board. I am going to appear an arraignment this morning in this courtroom. If I can have like a 10.
Say that again.
Sometime in this courtroom.
Are we doing arraignments?
I think Judge Patterns.
Okay,
So set a 10-minute break sometime, just going on.
we'll try to find a good place for that. All right.
We are ready. People will see frustration, but no one's present.
Okay. Are you a possible witness, ma'am? Are you a possible witness?
Not to the actual event.
Not to the actual event, but previous events, yes.
Okay. What's your name?
Hi.
Last name? Gabbett? Abbott. Okay. So what's your thoughts, gentlemen? You want to wait in the hallway?
I should be allowed to say, I don't think that anything that prior events would be tainted, because if, I don't expect to present witnesses, Judge, but. if-
Okay, and you're not calling her? Okay, all right. So who are we gonna call first?
People will call our first and only witness on the show.
Shelton with a T?
HDLTO.
Thank you. Thanks, Joe.
Right, yeah. You're not gonna call, please.
Mr. Shelton, all the way up front, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth today? Watch your step on my ramp. You're going to take a seat in that chair right there. Yep. Settle in. And state your full name for me, please.
Thomas Edward Shelton.
Thank you. When you're ready, counsel.
Just for the record, I have 2 exhibits, they've already been. All right. Good morning, Mr. Shaw.
Wait, I didn't know.
Yeah. Did you already see and spell your name for the record?
My last name, Mahoney,
Yeah, go ahead and spell your name for the record.
Thomas, THOMAS, Edward, EDWARD, Shelton, SHELTON.
So, thank you, Mr. Shaw. So, do you know anyone by the name of Wilma Jones?
Yes,
And how do you know that?
known her for years. Back in childhood days, whatever, growing up.
Okay. Did you have a dating relationship with that?
Yes,
And so it's fair to say that you'd be able to recognize her if you saw her.
oh, yeah.
Is she in accord with this thing?
Yes, I assume so.
Okay, so take a look around. Do you see anyone? Okay.
Noted.
Thank you. Now, did you live with that lady?
Did I live with her?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, did you live with her at was that a 9458 Essex Avenue?
yes,
And that's in the city of Romulus,
yes,
in Wayne.
yes,
Now, were you living there on the evening of 8/8/2025 and the morning of 8/9/2025?
yes.
Okay. So. Now let's start at 8/8/25. So August 8, 2025. What was happening? Between you two?
The first date you give me, you said?
Yes.
I believe that was a Friday.
Yes, and what was going on that Friday?
Friday, I was coming home from work. I stopped off at Walter's, bowling alley bar, light bar, whatever. And you get a phone call. And where I was at, told her. Well, I wonder,
Where did you tell her you were?
at Walter's,
And what happened after that?
then she told me they wanted to go to dinner.
And who's that?
And, her and his daughter, and, I said, well, I don't know what, I said, I'll be home in a little bit. And and then I left, I came home and stuff, and then she proceeded to tell me she knew where I was at and what I was doing, and it's like, how, well, I didn't know none of this until,
Well, so let's dive into that a little bit. So did you tell her you were somewhere else other than Walters?
I was on my way home from work.
Okay,
So I guess I was someplace else, I wasn't there.
okay. And was there an argument that started because of that?
Yes, because I was supposedly there, she caught me there, I supposedly, whatever, right?
Okay, so what do you mean by caught? Did she physically show up there?
No, I didn't, because I left, when I realized what was happening, then I left, I paid, and I left, and
Okay,
I went home.
okay. And so how was she catch?
How did she, well, I didn't know this until I turned in, it's like, I have a lease,
Okay.
and I lease my trucks every 2 years. I had to clean it out in order to take the truck back in to get my new one. And I found one of those pod things stuck in my back seat on my passenger side.
Okay. And do you know what that is?
Do I know what it is?
Yeah.
Some kind of GPS
Okay.
thing, there's a pod or whatever, I don't know. If you want to trace something somewhere, I guess, you put it on there, wherever it's at, you go on your phone supposedly. So I showed it to a friend of mine.
Similar to an Apple AirTag.
Yeah, right, that's what it, an AirTag, yeah,
Did it have the Apple logo on it?
yes.
Okay, so it is the Apple.
Okay, so I don't know about those things, I don't do those.
That's possible. So, but, and you didn't own that air. You never bought that.
No,
So, let's go back to the 90 question. So you are then on your way home. What happens does anything happen between you two when you're on your way home or just when you get?
don't just when I got home, she upset that I was there, or whatever, and thought it was kind of cool that she caught me, I guess.
Okay, what does she confront you about specifically?
Well, several things, but stuff I was just one ear out the other, because I was not I did not want to argue. I don't want any confrontation, nothing, I just, okay.
So, so you said you were at a bar, did you drink?
Oh, yeah, I had a beer,
One,
yes,
okay, did you drink anything else?
no.
Okay.
I didn't even finish that when I realized what was going on. And I knew somehow that would come into play. The thing is, when she would try to force me to touch her or do something. She had her phone set somewhere on video when I walk in the house, and she's videotaping everything.
Oh,
She showed me videos and stuff.
so
It's like, why would you videotape me coming in the front door? So,
was that happening on this day?
yes,
Here now,
as far as
and that's Friday. Okay, so what else are you doing?
She had a granddaughter that she supposedly went up north and brought back here. And then she had to take her back because the police, whoever was at the HR, human resources, wanted to, see her or whatever. It's illegal for her to be on. So she went back, then she came back.
Oh.
Then she tells me that she's not her guardian, she's totally responsible for it.
And what were you feeling about
I didn't really care for it too much, and what was going on. I mean, I knew what was going on, I knew what was gonna happen
it? What were you arguing about with your dog?
with my daughter,
I'm sorry, with the granddaughter?
I wasn't arguing with her.
I thought you were arguing with Rona.
Oh, yeah, she was saying that she was gonna have her stay out at our campsite.
Okay,
That's where she's gonna live,
okay, and
at
your
a campsite.
is that near your house? Is it?
That's out and picked me out by MIS, Motor Speedway.
Okay, so it's far away from town.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes or so.
Were you guys gonna stay with her then?
Pardon me?
Were you two, you and Wilma, going to stay with the granddaughter?
No,
Okay, and so is that why this argument is?
it's basically, that's where the seed was planted, and she was here, she's gonna stay here.
Okay,
But she wouldn't come right out and say to me, or have the respect enough to say, can she live here with us?
okay.
Well, I knew it was coming.
So how, well, did that argument go down? Was there any physical?
I got up that's when that's basically the argument stopped there, whatever, because I knew where it was going. I knew what she was gonna do.
And we're talking about Friday.
Waiting for the cameras to come out, and I went to bed, basically. I went out in the garage, messed around in the garage for a little bit, and I come back in the house and I went to bed.
Okay, so I'm gonna set this straight. So there's an argument that happens. At some point on Friday night, you go into the garage. Are there for some time until you go to bed. Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I-
Does anything else happen? Any more arguments continued on that night?
not that I remember.
Okay. So then, does that argument spill over into Saturday morning?
Yes,
Okay, and tell us about that. How does that start?
that started because we went together and bought a pontoon boat.
Okay,
And she went with me, we went and picked it up, stuff like that, and it was kind of strange because we sat there for like 15, 20 minutes while she was riding out something in front of this guy that we bought the boat from. I didn't pay attention to it.
so it's,
So that was the weekend prior to that, so we put the boat in the water, yada, yada, yada. And I says to her, I said, hey, where's the title for the pontoon boat? She said, I got it. That's well,
okay,
I want to put it in my name. Well,
and this is Saturday morning, you guys are.
no, this is the week prior to that and prior to her granddaughter coming down. So all this is hitting me at one time.
Okay,
Everything's going on at one time. I said, where's the title? She gives me the title, set it on the table. I open it up. It's in her name. Well,
okay,
okay, so that started that, I said, you know what? I see where this is going. I see exactly what I'm getting railroaded out of here and stuff like that. And, so I left it alone. Well, then comes Saturday morning, I got up, I went into the kitchen, made me a cup of coffee, took a drink of my coffee. She says to me, she says, can Maddie pick up the batteries for the golf cart? I go, what do you need?
and who's there?
Maddie's her granddaughter.
So he asked you, can my granddaughter pick up the batteries for the golf?
Yeah, so I could take that either two ways. Well, sure, she can, yeah, she could take them or whatever, or, yeah, she's capable of picking them up, I guess. So I said, what, for what? And she goes, I'm gonna sell it. I goes, no, you're not. Because it doesn't belong to you. It belongs to me.
So.
That's where she does railroad everything. Everything's like selling everything off in the house. It's like, are you kidding me? I got gunsmiths and stuff that those are not there anymore, but the cases are.
So let's back up. So. First of all, to understand this, you two are not married,
No,
never been married,
no.
okay. But you've lived in the same house for how long?
This thing here since 2014, 2015.
And then you stopped living together in 2025? What is
Yeah,
So about 11 years?
yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so how is the property divided? Whose house, whose name is Thompson? Is it both of yours or yours or hers?
Well, apparently she got her name on the deed, and the way I signed my name is not the way it's on the deed.
Okay, well,
But all of a sudden I just found this out. Like,
that's,
where
yeah,
did
so,
this come from?
but you guys have been sharing property without any issues for 11 years.
Oh no, no, not at all.
Oh,
We've had a lot of issues. A lot of stuff's been broken,
well, so,
taken, sold,
okay,
given away.
so, and is this a newer problem, like started in the last couple of years, or? is it-
Yeah, well,
Okay.
basically why we're here so late because of the granddaughter. I'm done. I'm not a boarding house. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. She's 15 years old. And she already said to her grandma that I had said something to her that would have gotten me in trouble. And she confronted me about it and asked me about it. I said, I did not say that. I said I even talked to her. And so that was washed, that was done.
So on this Tuesday, you are upset, frustrated about all this property disputes, this granddaughter can stay with you guys. So how does that play? What happens after?
When that there, I mean, about the golf cart, stuff like that. I knew she was gonna try to physically make me touch her, do something or whatever. And like I said, I'm looking for the cameras, where they're at, 'cause she's like, I get you on video.
So why,
And okay, so I said, I gotta get out of here. I went back into my bedroom. We don't sleep in the same bed, her bedroom's over there, mine's over here.
so let's talk about that. Why are you concerned that you are going, that she wants you to hit her?
She wants what? I'm sorry.
You stated that she wants you to hit her. What is that?
Physically, so I touch her, whatever, she give me for domestic violence, she could call the police, say, he touched me or whatever, and the police gonna come and put me in jail. That's what she wants, that's what you do.
Why? Why do you know?
Why do I know that? I've known the woman for over 30 years. I've seen her do it to other people.
Okay.
I've seen her do it to her own daughter. I've seen her, she told me, I haven't seen, but she told me, and her niece told me, she gets mad, she burned her own daughter's clothes
Okay.
because her daughter was having a problem.
So,
16, 17 years old, every teenager has a problem.
okay, so
That's her, it's,
So your prior experience leads you to believe that you're worried that this is gonna happen. Now, do you do anything, how do you express your frustration? Verbally only?
yeah, I more or less tell you to go take a hike or something like that, whatever, and I won't talk.
And I'm sorry, to clarify, I'm not saying, do you do anything physical? To
No.
show that you're angry?
No,
Do you slam your hands on the table?
do I? Yeah, I slam my hands on the table, I think what, I mean,
I'm not saying, do you do that?
did I do that on set?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went like this on the table, and I said, it does not belong to you,
And this is in reference to the golf.
to the golf.
Okay.
When I did that there, she walked around, I knew what she was gonna do, and I knew about the trying to tell you about the videos.
Yeah,
And
so,
I realized what she was doing, and I went around the other way, and I went into my bedroom, I got dressed, I come back out, started to leave. She blocked the door, she stood in front of the door.
okay, so we gotta separate it piece by piece. I just want to put a little more detail, okay? So, when you are slamming your feet on the table, how far away is she?
The width of the table?
Okay, so she's not next to you.
No,
You're not standing over her, like,
no,
okay. And then she comes closer to you after you do that. That's what you're
that's
talking
when she walks around the table to get close to me, and then that's when her granddaughter, I noticed it's over here in the corner. By the basement door and stuff, watching,
Okay, so you come in,
camera.
so you're in a frustrated state. And she comes closer to you, and that's when you decide, I'm getting out of here.
And I left it.
Okay, and then you state that she is blocking the door. What, the
The front door.
Okay,
Because when I went around her real quick, I went to my bedroom and I finished getting dressed and I come back out and set it out the front door. She's standing at the front door with her back to me, with the door open. Neighbors are outside,
alright. Then what?
and I said, excuse me, and I wouldn't touch her, never touched him like that. And she turned to say something to me, when she did, I slipped around her. When I slipped around, she grabbed me, and ripped my shirt.
Okay,
I ran outside, I got in my truck. When I got in my truck, she went outside. Neighbors out over here.
okay, we're gonna pause. Like I said,
Judge, I'm gonna object. There's a problem with this that I need to intervene. What Mr. Shelton is testifying to bears no resemblance whatsoever to the police report that was filed back in August of 2025, and I know the prosecutor did not call the OIC. And this is a problem because now I'm gonna have a difficult time impeaching the witness with prior inconsistent statements without the OIC being present. I need to object not just to the testimony at this point, but that, I don't know, I mean, this is problematic. This is not in any prior report whatsoever, so I don't know what to do.
Well, first of all, you got to make a legal objection so he has a chance to respond and then I can rule. So what's the legal objection?
I believe it's. Give me just a second.
Sure. I don't care.
passing. And this is statements. I know. Right. Yeah. All right, let's do it that. I'm struggling. Understood.
I do have some buried in the backyard, not due to the dog. So I do have video cameras in the house. So on this one day, on December 13th, he was doing this in front of the camera. And I think.
Well, we don't need to get into the details of December. But you had decided that you were gonna move in December?
Yes, after that last meeting on December 13th.
Okay, what happened in November?
When I did move,
No, maybe I got my dates wrong.
he did on December 13th.
There's no.
February, I don't
Hold on,
know.
ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. Let's wait for a question.
I'm sorry, June. I wanted to focus your attention on June. June 12th, 2025.
I believe that's when I went to the police station, filed a domestic violence against him
Okay,
with the video.
so that's June, and then you get through July, and then into August.
Correct.
Okay, so nothing happened between June 12 and August 9?
Nothing.
Okay,
I spent a lot of time out at the campground.
okay. You did move up to Escanaba, yes?
Yes, I did.
When did you move?
September, first part of September.
Okay. And you and Mr. Shelton own a lot of things in common, yes?
Yes,
And you hired an attorney
yes,
to divide up those assets?
yes.
Was that attorney?
Craig Calabrese,
Okay. And there's an action pending in the Wayne County Circuit Court to divide up those assets?
yes.
Is there anything else you want the judge to know about this incident?
Just that I drove a school bus for 40 years. I know that I.
Hold on, hold on. There's an objection, so we gotta have the lawyers talk it out.
I agree that it's,
Okay.
but,
Anything else?
about this incident on August 9th that you want to judge.
No, I just know I can't touch him due to my driving, that's all.
Nothing further.
Cross.
Okay. Good morning, Chucks.
Good morning.
So you testified that you have pictures and evidence. Why didn't you provide this?
Can we be specific, hold on, ma'am, can we be specific as to what incident she has evidence for?
So you have pictures. You have evidence of everything that happened over 8 or 9. Why didn't you have a program?
Because Bruce did not appear like for 2 or 3 days after that, and I was out at the campground.
Well, so never once during this, so this happened in almost a year ago. You didn't once think to share that with your attorney, to get it to the police, or to the police themselves so they can figure out what action happened?
No, I did not. No,
Um. So. But he never threatened you that,
only turning around with the frying pan in his hand and slamming it on the table in front of me.
but you told police he never threatened.
I guess he could call it a non-threat.
Well, no, you're the one calling it. The police asked you.
The frying pan was in the kitchen saying,
I mean,
Okay.
I should ask the question. Only one of us talk at the same time, or else, we can't get it all. So, the police asked you, did he threaten you on that day? And your response to them was no, he never threatened. Is that right?
he never touched me, no.
No.
No, so as a threat, maybe no, if you want to classify it like that, no.
Well, no, this is your statement. I'm asking you about yours. Because you stated to the police, he never threatened.
No,
Oh. He never got in your way.
no,
He never gestured that he was gonna hit you.
no,
That's what you told the police. Now, you also said he bumped you with his truck, right?
correct.
Now, he's bumping you, you just had a hip replacement. You're alleging that you just fell over.
No, I never said I fell over.
I thought you said on the record that you fell over.
No,
And
he
you
bumped
lost
me
your
with the
balance.
truck, I lost my balance, and as I turned around, I went like this here to grab the tailgate of the truck, and my cane hit the top of the truck. Hit the tonneau cover of the truck.
But you told police that you can't prove, right?
No, I can't prove that, I have no video,
Right. You can't prove.
no.
So the police were also asking you, did you antagonist? You were antagonist, right? They asked you that?
No,
Okay, so they never asked.
not to what I remember, no.
Okay, so if there's body worn camera that shows officers and asking you that multiple times.
Then yes, I would agree they asked,
Okay, so they did ask you that, and you responded no. Right?
correct.
But walking past him while he's trying to leave, the arguing with him, the. Your relationship with Salai. That wasn't antagonistic behavior.
That live part happened days before this incident even happened.
Then why did you mention when you were asked about that for?
Because I know he said he was at the bar and
Well,
I had called him, I only called him one time.
okay, well. Yeah. So your daughter never, when she was interviewed by the police, you were with that, right? Working, and
Yes, she was saying,
she never mentioned anything about the front, staff.
not to my knowledge, no.
Okay, right. So, on the night of the day. So you testified that you knew he was there at that moment, right? How did you know?
Because my daughter and I went to Captain Amos, which is kitty corner of Walter's Bar, and his truck was sitting there.
Why did you go there?
We went there to get a sub to take home to eat because we were waiting for him to come home from work to go have supper.
Okay. Now. Okay, and you say that he pushed you away from the, right, on Saturday?
It wasn't a push, he just put his hands on my arms and just kind of moved me out of the way, though it wasn't a violent act.
Okay, and that gave you bruises somehow?
Yes, when he had a hold of my arm,
And those are the pictures you never made.
correct.
Okay, so, okay. Okay, so he arrives at the police station after some time, right? He arrives obviously before you,
Yes.
but he is not going right there. But you allegedly went right there. How did you arrive there?
I guess you'll have to ask somebody else that question because I went right to the police station.
No, oh, you also got, so about those other dates, you said you got a statement from the motel. Where is that statement?
I that's over there.
Okay. Now, if you had that, why didn't you turn that over?
Say that, ask that again. Why
If you
did,
had that, why didn't you turn that over to the police? You're being accused of hitting his property.
Because honestly, I didn't even know it was gonna come this far,
And
you know, just for the beatings he gave me and I've never done anything, I just never thought he would.
well, hold on, that's not what it is. So I
Well,
was asking about that. I know, but you can answer the question that was asked. And let's talk, I guess I just want to ask you briefly about that. You said the last incident was December 2024. Is that correct? Yes, sir.
Correct,
But you were still living in that house August 9th, 2025. Is that?
correct.
So you waited 8 months, 9 months to move?
Yes, I had to find a place to live. That happened in December. Let me.
no, you just get to answer the questions that are asked.
But there was also an incident on June 12th, 20.
That was, yes, when I asked for the batteries for the golf cart. But there was no confrontation in the house as far as hitting each other.
But you filed a police report on June 12th. Right about that incident.
Okay. December is when he hit me. June, I went up north because my old boss had called me and said one of his bus drivers had a heart attack. Could I come up and drive? So I went up there and I drove. When I came back in June, I went to the police department and filed the incident that happened in December.
So you waited 6 months to report it.
Yes,
And there were court dates for that already, correct?
Oh.
Okay. If there were, you didn't show up.
no, there were no dates.
Okay,
That never went to trial.
well then you know if there were.
Correct,
Okay,
yes.
so if it was scheduled, that was without your knowledge. All this happened without your knowledge. You weren't calling, that was done without your knowledge, right?
That there was a court date?
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
Multiple court dates,
Pardon?
multiple court dates,
For the incident that I filed in December?
yes.
No, I was not notified.
And you didn't call the prosecutor's office multiple times since this action was filed, trying to get some movement on that case, is that right?
I was asking, yes, I did call, wanting to know what was going on with my case, that I hadn't heard anything.
Right.
And they told me it was on your desk,
So, but you did,
I believe.
okay, and that all started after this case was tried, right?
Correct.
Okay, and you did not know that he was gonna be at the police station, right?
No, I didn't.
And you did tell officers you did his harm,
Yes, I did. When he backed into me, to tell me, yes.
and you even asked officers, or I guess, told officers, take me to jail.
No, I did not. We were outside having a conversation, and I had told him that my daughter had went to jail for drug driving, and I could not give her a view of if it was good or bad, that was on my bucket list one day to spend the night in jail, and they said, no, man, you wouldn't.
Alright, so they said you said you wanted to spend the night in jail, front of your bucket.
Yes,
And when the officer asked you, well, you said you wanted to spend the night in jail. That conversation happened, correct?
he said, would you be willing to go to jail? I said, yes, at some point, yeah, I would be willing to go to jail. But that was due to our conversation that we were just standing outside talking, not to this specific incident.
Okay, so you were there about the specific incident. Something came up about, yeah, I went to jail, and now you're surprised that's not related. Is that right?
We weren't talking in contents about me going to jail. We were talking about my daughter when she had went to jail.
Okay. Oh, so at the kitchen table, when he was slamming his fist and wasn't raped, you didn't separate yourself, did you?
We weren't even at any time close to each other. We were across the table from each other.
So you never got close?
No,
Okay, how about that night? When you were arguing the night before, you never separated yourself from him. He went on his own issue, the garage, is that right?
when we got home and he got home, we never had an argument.
So you.
We never spoke. He come in, he went right to the garage.
Okay, so you were quiet the entire night.
Not that night, no.
So that morning, when you're being yelled at, you don't yell at.
I don't yell back.
Yeah, right? You don't argue back.
I did not yell at him, no.
Okay, you don't argue.
I have on occasion, yes.
Okay, I'm talking about this deal.
No,
Alright, so you don't argue.
No.
You don't go stand in front of the door and say.
I went to the door to go out the door. I wasn't just standing in front of the door. I was trying to go out the door.
Okay, so why didn't you go out the door?
Because I just had to get up and I had to take a step down. So I stopped to open up the door.
How far?
Second. Not very long.
You were blocking.
No,
And then you had to take another minute to stop or second to stop when you got behind the truck, right?
I was actually walking out the driveway and stopped for just a split second.
Okay,
And then he backed up into me.
so you happened to stop in both places. In his way, when he was trying to get out, he was trying to get away from you, he was trying to separate himself. Those are just instances that he's being without stop, is that right?
I don't know how I was trying to stop him when I was,
Just let's try to.
no,
So you didn't, so you just happened to be in those places at those times,
yes.
and then you just happened to show up with police later.
Yes, I went to,
And when you call police, why don't you say call?
because it seemed like forever that they were there and he had already swung the frying pan on the table. I didn't know what was gonna happen next.
So you decided to stay in the house until he left, then you decided,
No, he didn't leave.
he did leave.
He left after I went to the door. He was still in the house.
Oh, so you were outside already, and then he follows behind you, so.
He followed behind me out the door, yes.
Okay, and then instead of remaining where, and then he drove off. Instead of remaining there, waiting for the police to come, you drove off.
Yes, I went to the police station.
Even though they were on their way to.
I called, I had no idea if they were on their way or
You called one time?
one time.
Okay, so when 911 calls, when you call 911, your instinct is, oh, if they don't show up, I got. Is that,
I wasn't going to stay in case somebody came back, no.
okay, but you were still staying there while he was there.
After that incident,
While this is all going on, he goes in the back room, he gets changed. You're still there, you're still in the house, you're not making any effort to leave.
no, my granddaughter was getting dressed. She went back downstairs to get dressed and then we left.
Did you ever ask him to date?
Excuse me?
Did you ask him to date?
No,
Antagonize him?
no,
Just hit?
no,
You never said that.
no.
Now, do you drink?
Some,
Did you drink on the night of the 8th?
18th?
I'm sorry, the 8th,
no,
not a drop.
no.
You didn't drink on the night.
No,
Now, he was making food for your dogs, right? Is what you testified.
correct,
Okay, and there were eggs.
yes.
Why was he allowed to feed your dog eggs?
Yes, that's what we cook them once in a while,
Okay, why wasn't he allowed to feed them on that?
because he had a whole plate full of eggs, which is way too much for 4 dogs to eat.
Okay, so he was taking care of your dog. And you told him
Correct.
why?
I told him, don't feed my dogs, they're mine.
So now you guys are arguing over property, dogs, boats, golf carts, all of it, right?
No bowls,
The house,
no house,
so there's no argument about the house.
no.
Okay.
The
But
only thing the only thing brought up was the golf cart.
no, I'm just saying that because now there's civil action stuff here.
Yes,
So, I mean, your attorney asked Mr. Shelton, he would gain if, however this went, right? He would obviously gain if you were found guilty. That's what we were getting, at, right?
repeat that please.
So your defense counsel was asking Mr. Shelton. You know, if she got found guilty, would he benefit, right?
That question was asked, yes.
Okay, wouldn't you also stand to benefit if this went your way?
There's no,
You would.
we would divide everything equally.
Okay, so you would define everything equally if you got found not guilty or guilty.
Correct, I was going to file papers to separate the property.
Okay, but why are we? Then why initiate a lawsuit if you were just willing to separate it?
Because he's not willing to separate.
I'm sure. Yes. Oh, now there was a time, we heard about your history with guns, right? You were here for that,
Yeah, I have guns that I bought for the grandson, yes.
your grandson, how many guns?
I don't know, 13, 15, I don't know.
13 to 15 firearms.
And they get bought, they get put in the gun cabinet.
Are you collecting these guns?
For the grandson, when I pass away, yes.
Okay. Does 17 sound?
They could be, yes.
So you don't even know how many guns you have.
No, I buy them and put them in the gun cabinet.
You never fired them?
I have never, well, I fired one gun. I personally didn't fire it, I was trying to unload it
Where?
in the bedroom.
You brought a firearm into your bedroom.
There are 2 firearms in the bedroom. One on my side of the bed, one on his side of the bed.
And you
I don't
fired.
object to relevance, sir.
Good question.
Judge, I think he testified that a part of his fear and threat and why he thought he was gonna be assaulted on this day was her, quote, history of firearms. So I want to explode.
No. Given the incident and the fact that there were no guns mentioned on the 8th or 9th, I don't think it's relevant.
I. Just a couple follow-ups on the ownership of sentences. If that's all right.
Limited.
So. Were those guns recovered by Romulus police after you were arrested?
To my knowledge, yes.
Okay. And they're not in your possession currently?
No.
Okay, so if you were to lose this, you understand the building forward, right?
I guess I've never been in a situation, I don't know the answer.
So so if this turns out not for you, call those up, and that you have no realization.
I had no knowledge, I just thought after a year or so that I get them back, but I can't have them in my name.
Okay. I
Any redirect? None? Ma'am, you can step down. Watch your step on my ramp. Anything else from the defense, Mr. Mays?
Thank you.
Any rebuttal witnesses, Mr. Lecky? Any closing arguments?
Now, Judge, just briefly, I know I'm not gonna go over what testimony.
Thank you.
However, just to highlight a couple of things. We heard that there wasn't any contact made. I know this board knows that there's no necessary need for contact, assault and or assault and battery. I think the striking of the vehicle in that place, I mean, the judge has, or your honor has the picture of the car, the picture of the cane, they both have those white scuff marks and areas that line up. Just because he wasn't hit, doesn't mean that an assault and or battery did not occur. And that's the people's position. I think we proved that we have a reasonable doubt. Considering, the testimony of the defense is somewhat confusing, not straightforward. I don't think has any credibility as to what actually happens. Thank you.
Mr. Mays.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I'll make it very brief. So there's three independent reasons why you should find her not guilty. Prosecution has not proven the elements of assault and battery under 750.81(2) beyond reasonable doubt. Two, to the extent that there was any contact between Ms. Johnson's cane and Mr. Shelton's truck, Ms. Johnson acted in lawful self-defense. If we're talking about the back of the truck, and I mean, we can't even agree on whether it's the back of the truck or the side of the truck. And the first that I've heard of this lining up theory is today, that the mark on the cane matches the mark on the truck, which I don't really think that it does. There's no red paint transfer to the cane, and the cane, what we're talking about in that exhibit is a rubber tip. So I'd be confused as to how a rubber tip would scratch a paint, but there's testimony that that was old. And contemporaneous statements that it was old at that time. And Mr. Shelton's own testimony is that her back was turned to the truck when he backed up. And so I think that the testimony more or less coincides there, that she turns around and she starts the truck. That would make more sense than a lady with a hip replacement bolting up to the side door, opening it up and striking the side of the truck with her cane. And both parties agree, they drove through the front yard, and both parties agree that, you know, that this was nasty argument. I see no evidence, even though I exposed Ms. Johnson to cross-examination to the prosecution, any intentional act directed at Mr. Shelton's person. And she's consistent that she lost her balance and did hit the top of the back of the truck. Given these circumstances, Judge, I'm going to ask if you find her not guilty.
Mr. Leckie. Thank you both. So there were serious credibility issues here. But even if I take the story as I received it from Mr. Shelton, I do not find a domestic violence. Maybe an MDOP, which wasn't charged, but I don't find a domestic violence. I'm going to find the lady not guilty. Thank you both.
Judge.
Have a nice day. So, Joe, you can shut that down.
See.